The selected one. Pay close attention. Someone took something holy, but heaven has already written the verdict. You did not come upon this message by chance. Heaven sent you to this moment for a reason. A lady has stolen your image, likeness, and brightness and utilized it to collect blessings intended for you. She did not get into this by mistake. No, it was calculated, crafted. She watched your every movement, imitated your voice, grin, and enthusiasm. She didn't just emulate you. She rehearsed you like you were a role she was never meant to perform. Then she went into regions that the Lord had designed for you, not her, and she wore your identity like a deceitful mask. This isn't simply fraud. This constitutes spiritual identity theft. And Archangel Michael has spoken. This is not just trickery. It is spiritual robbery disguised as flesh, and she displayed as you. Blessings in your name were presented to her as you sobbed silently. She rejoiced in the darkness. Every fake grin and faucet was observed by the most elevated. Yes, spoken in your name. Nothing evaded his gaze. However, she is unaware of this. Haven't seen it all. The fire of divine justice has already been lit beneath her feet. Her faucets are unraveling. One of the individuals she tricked is starting to notice. A little element did not match a moment. Did not feel right. Something seemed wrong. And that something is the Holy Spirit communicating truth to their spirit. This is the point at which what was before buried in the shadows begins to quiver under the weight of divine truth. Have you been experiencing it, too? The abrupt heaviness, uneasiness in your spirit, and fatigue without cause. That is not simply tiredness. That is your soul, responding to a theft. Your spirit was on alert long before your head could find the words to express it. But listen to what the adversary attempted to hijack. God is reclaiming. She grasped for your prophesy, your future assignments, your next level. However, she was unable to touch what heaven had sealed with your name, because your light, your heavenly imprint, cannot be replicated. It is written in heaven, sealed with grace, and preserved by fire. Her mimicry set off a chain reaction in the spiritual realm. Exposure is coming. Vindication is already underway. No weapon made against you will flourish. You will condemn every mouth that comes up against you in judgment. Isaiah 5417. This is not only about your reputation. This is about your fate and position in the kingdom. Now, as you walk forward into this divine truth, I ask you to identify your preparedness type. To show your approval, please say Amen in the comment section below. Show the skies. You're prepared to go boldly into your own identity. Do it from a place of faith rather than fear, agreeing with what God has already determined for you. Stay with me till the finish, because we will conclude with a tremendous prayer of restoration. Your vindication will not come. It's already begun. You're not merely surviving the onslaught. You are becoming live proof that no counterfeit can alter a predetermined destiny. Oh, chosen one, lean in, because what you're going to hear is more than simply a message of encouragement. It's a divine reveal. Heaven is tearing back the curtain, revealing the reality. What you believed was a personal attack turned out to be an assault on your future. She did not only steal money. No, what she actually attempted to kidnap was something far more holy. Your prophecy? Yes, the same future that was written in heaven, with your name etched in light. She entered chambers intended for your favor. She answered calls intended for your voice. She stood at the doorway of your breakthrough, wearing your identity as if it was her own. But there's a shift in the spirit. Something is twisting, and the counterfeit is beginning to shatter. You will soon get a message. At first look, it may appear trivial, just another notice in your mailbox. But do not reject it. That communication has proof. A name, a number, and a date. A traceable reference that heaven will utilize to reveal what was done in secret. You've had a feeling that something is wrong. Moments that seem out of place, names that reverberate faintly, a sudden stirring in your spirit at the sound of specific words. That is not a coincidence. That is divine prompting. Begin writing them down. Keep a journal. The Lord's Spirit may be putting these jigsaw pieces together to reveal a reality larger than you can conceive. Write the vision clearly on tablets so that he can run. Who reads it? Habakkuk 2:2. Strange moments, neglected details. They are not random. They are heavenly breadcrumbs that will take you to divine understanding. Now, hear this. Someone close to her has begun to experience vivid, frightening, and prophetic dreams. Their spirit is troubled. Guilt is rising to the surface, and they do not yet understand why. But they are about to become your heavenly testimony. Their testimony will provide validation not just to you, but to everyone watching. God is bringing up a voice that has witnessed everything. One who remained mute till now. And the lady, the person who replicated your image, stole your tone, and imitated your elegance. She is beginning to forget the specifics, since truth and falsehoods coexist deep within the psyche. Eventually, slip between the gaps. She's stumbling now. When asked about times only your heart knows, her responses falter, and many around her notice. Whispers are circulating. The air around her is becoming heavier because she is bearing a burden that was never hers to bear. But you're being polished, altered, and exalted. You may feel out of place, too emotional, or pushed beyond your capacity. That is not a breakdown. That is spiritual promotion. You are entering a new level of power, and the resistance you are experiencing is a release of what no longer belongs to you. Behold, I am doing something new, and it is now emerging. Do you not sense it? Isaiah 4319. The Spirit of God is reshaping your environment to match the elevation He is bestowing on your life. And, heavens, the warrior has spoken. The throne she sat in was borrowed. She never had a legitimate claim to it. She stole grace rather than giving it. And now the imposter has to step down, because what belongs to you has been etched in your mantle forever. Soon, she will be summoned to a meeting. She will go in with confidence, perhaps even pride. However, something will be presented before her, a document, a voice recording, and an image. Something she can't describe. Her eyes will expand. Her voice will shake because the trap she laid for you has been reversed. And now it is closing in on her. This expose will not be quiet. No, it will resound around the circles where she once stood proudly. The same voices that used to acclaim her will now murmur in confusion. Those who believed her will now doubt everything. Then the call will come to you. A voice will remark, "We made a mistake. We finally understand the truth." And just like that, everything changes. The scales will fall. Your celestial title will be restored. Your reflection will no longer be associated with confusion, but for clarity, honor, and heavenly vindication. Understand this. The money she took was never really hers. It is cursed because benefits not bestowed by God become responsibilities. What she expected would be luxurious is now causing strife. The hands that passed it to her are beginning to demand explanations. She thought she might disappear quietly, but heaven never loses track of its chosen angels. Tracing every step, every word she said in deception is now resonating in worlds she cannot escape. There is one more voice. Someone who observed silently, knew but wasn't certain. That individual has carried the truth like fire in their bones, and they can no longer remain silent. Their remarks will hit like lightning. They will corroborate what the Spirit has already shown. When they talk, it will set off a chain reaction. Confusion will shatter. Your name will glow. And as for her, she will be judged not only in human courts, but also in spiritual courts. Because this was not merely an imitation. It was a rebellion against heaven's rule. She grabbed for what was sacred without being summoned. And now it is up to the Lord to render judgment. But you selected one. You're being made whole. Slowly, beautifully powerful. The energy that was stolen from you is being returned. Joy, clarity, and tranquility. Your lights are being restored, not only for you, but as a symbol that you are favored in realms beyond human reach. The whole environment of your existence is changing. Her deceit has resulted in the reopening of previously closed doors. As they do, a scroll from heaven is unrolled, a letter inscribed with your name, new assignments, divine opportunity, supernatural favor. Because you have been attacked, we are being picked. However, you are now honored for your faithfulness, and he who sits on the throne has decreed you to be put in the seat of justice, not because you fought back with wrath, but because you remain calm with power. The judgment will not pass through your hands. It will arrive on divine orders. She will receive a notification soon. It may be lawful, it may be pecuniary, but it is indisputable. It will mark the beginning of her unraveling and the end of your prolonged quiet. Your suffering will not have the last word. It will be spoken by the rising. So, receive this truth in your spirit. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. You're not forgotten. You're being revealed. You are not robbed. You are being compensated. And the lady who took your face will not take your future, because your future is safe with a God who never loses sight of what is his. The Lord will fight for you. You merely need to remain still. Exodus 1414. Heaven is moving even as you remain stationary. Restoration is now progress. The course of justice is unfolding, and your mantle, your genuine name, is being raised in respect. The Spirit is stirring yet again. Could you sense it? Heaven is confronting a counterfeit, and the hour for divine reversal has arrived. Everything that lady claimed in your name is soon to be questioned. What she formerly presented as fact will now quiver under the weight of disclosure. Because when God's light shines, it not only illuminates but also interrogates. And no facsimile can endure the limelight of reality. Her courage is eroding. What appeared to be confidence was actually just acting. And when the truth demands answers, she will be unable to stand. Because lies cannot stand, they crumble. A message is arriving unexpectedly. It may arrive by a blocked call, an encrypted email, or even a handwritten note. However, the words will strike with clarity. I know exactly what she did. Don't remove it. This isn't spam or a coincidence. This is a secret ally. Someone who has witnessed a storm form and knows far more than you believe possible. They've waited and watched, and now they are ready to speak. That ally may be a stranger in your eyes, but not in your destiny. They have been divinely placed, planted in stillness for this particular hour. They will reveal something tiny yet important, a detail you didn't even realize was missing. However, it will link the last elements. It will corroborate the truth. You've been carrying this in your spirit all along. And when it happens, you will not be the injured, but the witness, because a home was constructed on sand, and now the deluge is approaching. Not to destroy you, but to remove the corruption that had attempted to attach itself to your name. However, there is nothing secret that will not be revealed, and nothing hidden that will not be made public. Luke 817. You might be astonished to learn that she has a place in her house where she maintains mementos of you, such as photographs, notes, voice recordings, and ideas you never produced but stole. It may appear to be appreciation on the surface, but in reality it is a temple to stolen identities. She does not admire your light. She envies it. She imagined that if she could emulate your movements, she could control your mantle. But fever is not something you can fake. Anointing is not a costume. It is a calling, and your chosen one did not fall into your grace. You were formed in fire. You went through storms that shattered others. You bled in solitude and continued to adore. Scars formed what you carry. Nobody saw. And this is something no imitation can match. Her entire universe is shaking. You may not see it with your eyes right now, but her spirit does. The countdown has started, and what she feared the most, Public exposure is already underway. There will be one final effort. She'll attempt to weep, alter the story, and maybe even turn others against you. But no matter how loudly she cries, the truth will always whisper louder. You will start hearing your mantle discussing areas you thought were forgotten. That is not a coincidence. That is divine reintroduction. Heaven is restoring your design in front of people who previously questioned you. A contract she attempted to sign in your holy record. It is being cancelled. She attempted to steal an opportunity. It is being redirected. Even those who previously trusted her falsehoods are beginning to sense it. Something's not right. The mask is crumbling. The enchantment is fading. And your face, or actual essence, bears the stamp of truth. Who can scale the Lord's mountain? Who can stand in his sacred place? Someone who has clean hands and a pure heart. Psalm 24, verses 3-4. You walk with integrity even when no one clapped. You chose character over confrontation. You could have retaliated, but you decided to stay still and let the Lord battle for you. And now justice is being carried out without the need for your intervention. You're no longer a victim. You're the revelation. God isn't just telling the truth about her. He is disclosing the truth about you. Your power, story, and proper position. She felt she could get away with it. She felt she might benefit from wearing your skin. But she didn't calculate for heaven's entry into the courtrooms of eternity, which have opened their books and are now judging what was previously secret. Some of you have been dreaming recently. Images of golden light courtrooms with open gates. These are not random visions. They are glimpses of the spiritual justice that is unfolding in your life. Her name will be added to a list of exposure rather than honor. A fraud register, a judicial docket, and a flag for counting. She manipulated the system. Others are turning against her. Where your mantle was incorrectly put, haze will now be revealed. Her false smile is fading. The riches she gained is disintegrating because everything based on robbery and deception cannot withstand the fire of divine truth. And you get ready. An invitation is on its way. It may appear like a new job, an unexpected opportunity to speak, to lead, to create, to be seen. That moment was always intended for you. However, her involvement created a delay. The wait is now gone. The invitation is being delivered to its proper owner. You will not need to beg for it. You will not have to campaign or beg. The door will open on its own because divine order does not require effort. It is activated by alignment. This isn't luck. This represents the restitution of what was stolen. Within Greece, I will compensate you for the years that the locusts have consumed. Joel 225. What was once prohibited is now being blessed. What was previously hidden is now being released. The Almighty's hand is straightening out what had been distorted. She messed with your identification, but heaven has confirmed it. She mimicked your voice, but heaven recognizes your voice. She bore your name, but heaven knows your spirit. In the quiet times when it appears no one is watching, maintain integrity. Leave your decisions to a deity. Do not degrade yourself to her level. Do not imitate manipulation. Allow the truth to speak louder than your grief. Because the tale will not focus on how she tricked. It will focus on how you overcame. This is more than simply vindication. This is about restoration. Your spirit is being refreshed. Your strength is returning. Your attention is becoming sharper. The burden is easing. That is not random. That is compensation. Divine recompense is wrapping around you, piece by piece. The favor that was once blocked is now breaking through doors that she once shut. Schemes are now shifting into your favor. And through it all, one fact sticks out. You were picked. You're covered. You're coming back stronger than ever. The deluge is not meant to destroy you. It is a wave of truth that will wipe away any false claims in your heavenly record. And when the dust settles, the spotlight moves, and the people turn their heads, they'll see what paradise always has. A chosen one distinguished by truth, decked with fire and standing triumphantly. Hear it with your spirit. The masquerade is ended. Heaven has delivered its last decision, and the game she played is over. Archangel Michael proclaims that the crown she attempted to steal is returning to its rightful owner, and the head is yours. The ruse, which was carefully manufactured, has begun to crumble. You will soon notice it, not in theory or hope, but in proof, tangible, indisputable proof. It could display on the screen. It may be presented to you in a letter or whispered by someone who has never spoken before. However, when it arrives, it will bear the weight of every silent suspicion, unsaid doubt, and gut sensation that something holy has been taken. Hold on to that moment. That proof will be the key that opens a door to your rehabilitation. Not simply a name, but also position, promise, and power. Because when the thief falls, the chosen rises. She'll attempt to explain it away. She'll say she was perplexed, that she liked you too much, and that it was just ambition taken too far. Tears will flow, but heaven is unmoved by manipulation. This is not a story about misunderstandings. It's a case of jealousy disguised as noble desire and larceny. Your life is too real to be replicated, your essence is too divine to be impersonated, and your destiny must wait to be worn by someone else. What she attempted to imitate wasn't only your image, it was your call. However, callings cannot be copied. God's very breath imprints them on our souls. Many are called, but only a few are chosen. Matthew 2214. You are among the few who have been set apart, and heaven watches over them. Holy jealousy, the ultimate unraveling has begun. Her footsteps are becoming more unpredictable. Her voice is wavering. The folks who used to grin at her are starting to look again. And this time, they see the fishes. The illusion is fading. She faked documents and left digital breadcrumbs one by one. She departed. The faucets she believed were buried. They are all resurfacing. Evidence is making its way into the hands of people with authority to act. She cannot remove what has already been recorded in the Holy Record. A spotlight is now shining on her activities, not the type she originally desired, but the kind that requires accountability. She speaks your mantle every time. Her spirit flinches. Her tongue becomes heavier. This is the weight of conviction. Guilt is mounting, and it will eventually break her quiet in front of everyone who previously trusted her. But hear this. You won't need to battle. This is no longer your war. You've wept enough. You prayed in private, fasted through the chaos, and waited for people to misunderstand you. Now, heaven is reacting. This is not vengeance. This is divine justice. And it's moving precisely. Soon, a platform, a digital area, or a public event will use your true name, not out of sympathy, but because of recognition. Someone with power will acknowledge that we selected the wrong person. We want to put things right. In that instant, the equilibrium will change. Your individuality is being respected, and it is already resonating through the pathways of repair. The Holy Spirit is speaking. Your name has entered the hearts of decision-makers. New doorways are developing, while her doors slam shut because she can't retain what was never assigned for her spirit. And now, delayed benefits are gradually catching up with you. Unexpected emails that offer favor without explanation. Invitations seem to appear out of nowhere. But these are not coincidences. These are corrections. These are moments. Heaven has marked you all along, now given with interest. Every morning, begin with thankfulness. Not only is thankfulness a wonderful habit, but it also serves as a gate opener. Speak this aloud. What is mine is being returned to me in God's perfect timing. That statement isn't empty. It coincides with divine timing, and it will shift your perspective from fear to trust, waiting to receiving. The more she attempts to hold on to what she took, the more it disintegrates in her hands. Financial conditions will deteriorate, allies will scatter, and the fire she started will burn until it destroys all traces of the faucet. That's the issue with stolen oil. It dissipates with the heat of the sun. She'll try to transfer the responsibility. She will name others, claiming she was pushed or misled, but she knows in her heart that this was not about survival. This was about envy. And someone from her inner circle, someone who previously stood by her side, will soon step forward, not out of devotion to you, but to rescue themselves from her demise. They will show a communication, a receipt, a snapshot, or a situation they experienced firsthand, and it will be obvious that one piece will corroborate everything. She impersonated both your essence and the organization that she fooled. They will be driven to answer not because they are noble, but because they wish to defend their own reputation. However, in doing so, they will boost your status. The adjustment they propose will have public impact. It will change minds, quiet naysayers, and thrust you into a limelight you didn't ask for but were born to be in. You will be awarded not just financially, but also with recognition, prominence, and honor. Because when heaven writes a name with light, no untruth can conceal it. Some will murmur about her demise. Some may even pity her. But those who know the truth, who have seen all sides, would claim she took from a chosen person. And this alters everything. Because when the selected are impersonated, heaven does more than just repair. It warns that Archangel Michael has spoken. Let this be a sign. A boundary has been crossed, and that line will not be ignored. What was formerly permitted will not be accepted again, and every imposter observing will sense the change. This is more than simply a personal breakthrough. This is a spiritual caution, a reminder that the anointing does not follow a trend. Identity isn't a costume, and calling is not to be imitated. You selected one who was never forgotten. You are being preserved. Hidden? Yes, but never neglected. And now the revelation has arrived. Her name is fading. Yours is increasing. Her gains are eroding. Your prize is about to arrive. Her tale is crumbling. Your testimony is being recorded in glory. So, walk forward, not with bitterness, but with confidence, not with vengeance, but with respect, because the crown has always been yours. And no hand, lying, scheme, or thief can steal what heaven has sealed. The Lord will vindicate his people and show mercy to his slaves. Psalm 135:14. Your vindication will not come. It is already in action and will be completed. Something precious is being restored, not merely by heaven's decision, but in an unseen, unmistakable form. You may soon get something physical, an object formerly associated with a lady who impersonated you. It may look random and trivial, but it is not. It is symbolic. It's the remains of her collapse, a piece of the identity she attempted to take but could never carry. She abandoned it as a manufactured world began to crumble. And now that thing serves as proof that the item she sought for was never hers. Her access is becoming increasingly limited. Accounts are being banned. Phones are disconnected. Messages are unanswered. However, don't confuse her stillness for capitulation. She is not hiding from the dude. She is withdrawing from the weight of spiritual consequence. Because your angels, those entrusted to protect your heavenly record and path, have tracked every step she took in disguise, every lie, every photo, and every place she entered while pretending to be you. Everything has been marked. And now heaven is sweeping across those places, one by one, with holy fire. This is no longer simply about exposure. It is a cleanse. She threw a shadow across. Your light is being deleted. What was once confusing will now feel clear. What was once a burden will now seem like a relief. When you look in the mirror, you will see something fresh. Glow in your eyes. Your spirit is on fire, yet your presence is serene. These are indications that your ascent has begun. Not half, not in part, but entirely. Without delay, without apologies. Your narrative is being rewritten by fresh voices. And this time, they understand your worth. not the pretender or imitator, but those who see clearly today. They will speak about your legacy in spaces where truth is important. They will commemorate you in places where your name was previously mistreated. And when they mention your name, doors will open not through force, but because your design now bears a hallmark of divine clarity. She attempted to convert your reflection into a mask, tried to extend her hand in favor, not designed for her soul. However, no disguise can capture the spirit of the really anointed. And now everything she utilized, including your voice, words, and reflection, is going to ashes, because sacred things cannot be taken. It can only be duplicated for a short time until the fire shows a difference. You overcame the gloom. That was a godsend. You're emerging from the ashes. That is the miracle. But here's your prize. That's what happens next. And it will come. Not just for restoration, but with more dignity than ever before. A public correction is on the way. Perhaps not as loud, but still loud enough. It may be a post or a silent announcement. A statement slipped into the correct inbox, but it will be delivered to the correct recipient. It will carry your legacy and state that we have learned the truth. That moment will not simply restore your credibility. It will bring you peace. That's the sound of lies collapsing and truth rising higher than ever. The word of heaven verifies that your face bears the mark of royalty. That means no one else can wear your favor. No duplicate may wear your crown. Anyone who tries will face immediate and irreversible consequences. Your rebirth begins now. You are not returning to what has been stolen. Rather, you are walking ahead into what is multiplied as a result of divine justice. You're not reclaiming scraps. You've stepped into an overflow. She is watching now, but not as a threat, only as a reminder how pride and jealousy can ruin. She may try to re-enter, may attempt to explain it was all a mistake, but the mood has transformed. The spot where she previously stood no longer welcomes her soul. She could still look like you in images, but the brightness, the presence, the sincerity, it's lacking because it was never haze. You are becoming unmistakable. Your legacy is being restored. Your energy and presence, they are louder than the faucets. The proper individuals are starting to sense it. They are being drawn into line with your truth, not by manipulation or force, but by divine gravity. God is calling people to you now that the season of delay has passed. Yes, a contract is on its way. One bearing your genuine name, one that has weight, worth, alignment, and promise. And this time, no one else will take your place to receive it. The ones providing it, they have seen the facts. They've assessed the damage. They understand what occurred, and they have made a decision. Give it to the appropriate soul. You may be invited to seat at a table where your legacy was previously raised. Accept it, but walk in not with revenge, nor with hatred, but with the quiet power of someone who was always intended to be there. She may seek to return. She may offer apologies and attempt to hide her remorse as humility. However, her words will not change what transpired. Her presence will not mitigate the consequences of her actions. A performance will not be used to ridicule the Spirit of God. What she did was not solely personal. It was spiritual. She came into contact with something consecrated. She attempted to wear what was knit in secret, through sorrow, prayer, and purpose. And heaven answered. The Lord is recognized for his works of justice. Psalm 916. You are currently in the chapter where justice is realized. Your name is clean. Your energy is entire. Your benefits are sealed and safeguarded. Not by favor, but by fire. You're not the same as you were before the storm. You're sharper now, stronger and wiser. You carry not just experience, but also evidence of survival. You understand what it is like to be deceived and quiet, to see someone else stroll in your shadow as the entire world rejoiced. But now the crowd is cheering for you, not out of sympathy, but because of recognition. Because what is gaining traction now is more than simply a reputation. It is a relaunch. The true you, the one heaven always saw and destiny never forgot. You were never forgotten. You were preserved. You were never disqualified. You were concealed, and now you're ascending. Take a breath. Not simply a deep breath, but an unrestrained one. Because what was previously chasing you has loosened its grasp. What was once hidden in the darkness has been eaten by light. And what once turned your legacy into chaos, I can no longer pronounce it without trembling. Your peace has transformed into your source of power. You are now protected by something far more than locks and passwords. Heaven has put your identity under divine protection. Spiritual encryption that no system on earth can decipher. All attempts to take your essence have failed. Why? Because you are well known around the world. You're sealed in the next. Stay smart. Even spiritual fights leave natural imprints. Change your password. Maintain your digital life. Organize your timelines and conserve your energy. Warfare does not always shout. It occasionally whispers through data, photos, and messages. The adversary may sneak through convenience, but your awareness is now your protection. Fear has improved your perception. Yes, she might still try. Small methods, subtle imitation, murmurs behind closed doors, a pathetic look here, a feigned apologies there. But none of it will stay, since the truth is now too light for misunderstanding to exist. Your radiance is no longer up to discussion, and that light reveals every darkness that still clings to her. And here's the twist. Those who formerly supported her will now turn back to you, not because they feel bad, but because they are amazed. They have witnessed the difference. They are seeing you clearly for the first time, without distortion, filters, or misunderstanding. And they are questioning how they were ever duped, because your sincerity is now unparalleled. Following that, or as a reward, comes a formation of concrete, heavenly restitution, financial restoration, relationship tranquility, and spiritual elevation. Heaven is revealing what had been postponed. And this is not a giveaway. It is a holy return. You will feel it shortly. That invisible weight on your shoulders, the strain of being misrepresented, misunderstood, and exploited, is lifting, and the thick fog you couldn't express is clearing. You will suddenly be able to breathe more easily, not because your circumstances change, but because your spirit was set free. Your name will no longer cause confusion. It'll become a key, a signal, a source of power to others. Your once hidden trip now bears dread that has been purified, validated, and is unshakable. The same name that was previously used against you will now be used by God through you to open doors, unleash favor, and guide others to hope. Heaven is sealing this chapter, and the seal is gold, indicating that no one, no voice, no rumor, no spirit can tamper with it. This chapter is complete and is being archived with dignity. Your name has been through theft, deceit, derision, and silence and remains unchanged. And heaven has issued a definitive decree through its guardian. You are not only being restored, you are being elevated. And the one who attempted to take your crown, she'll see you sparkle, and it will be her true judgment. Not the trial, not the headlines, but the overwhelming awareness that your light cannot be dimmed. The favor she attempted to steal will now have a strong negative impact on you. She will have no option but to look away. And you will feel safer again. Not only physically, but spiritually. Your energy is no longer seeping into a false image of yourself. Your aura is no longer being lent to someone else's goal. That shield around you is not metaphorical. It is operational. Those who attempt to emulate will be prevented. Not you, but divine resistance. You'll start hearing it in unexpected places. You look familiar. Have I seen you before? Do not confuse that for fame. It is not a celebrity. It is clarity. The actual you is now revealed. Heaven hath lifted the curtain. Your essence is being acknowledged by those that matter. Everything she ever claimed has fallen like dried leaves in autumn. Her fake achievements are causing her to lose touch with the tree she did not plant. Her tail is disintegrating. But you're rising like the morning light, unapologetic, unfiltered, unstoppable, and completely aligned. Walk with grace now. You owe no one an explanation. Not everyone gets to hear the entire narrative, but they will witness the outcome. They will see how someone attempted to be you and failed, while the real you stood motionless, silently loyal, until heaven made an announcement. You did not seek exposure. Exposure has come to you. You did not battle for recognition. The truth was presented in your mantle, and